현지장 도시장.
It's okay. I won't be hard on you for not knowing the Twilight stuff.
That's okay.
It's okay, man.
If my wife is listening, she'll probably kill me, I imagine, but that's all right. All right, guys, down here at the bottom right-hand corner of Calm Before the Storm, we have our blue Zerg player from TSL, the guy who finally knocked off StarTale Ace. He is Symbol. And his opponent in the top right-hand corner from StarTale, our red Terran player, Virus.
Yep, that is right. You know, I have to tell my like Twilight thing.
Oh no!
Every time one of those movies comes out on DVD,
okay,
my friends and I always get it. We get a bunch of pizza, get a bunch of beer. We have Twilight movie night.
Oh,
and we just basically Mystery Science Theater 3000 did. It's so much fun.
But see, the problem with that is that you would still have to actually watch Twilight, and I think that's where the problem comes in for me. So,
yeah, it's well, I don't know, man. I mean, it's. Yeah, that's the thing. I used to make fun of that, and one day they were like, "How can you make fun of that series? You haven't even read it." And I was like, you're right, I haven't. So I actually read the book. I read it.
Are you serious?
I read the book, and then now I was like, I can make fun of it whenever I want. Now I actually read it.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Doe has outed
so
himself
there.
as a Twilight fan.
No, that is not what I'm saying, man. I'm just saying I read the book. All right.
All right.
That is it.
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
All right.
Okay. For now, though,
I'm sorry if you're a Twilight fan. By the way, you can be.
I'm not.
It's okay to be a Twilight fan. If there's people out there that are Twilight fans, that's okay. Don't feel embarrassed. It's just not my cup of tea.
All right, mods, I'm going to make you upset right now in chat. But chat, if you're a Twilight fan, press 1. If you're not, press 2. And I want to see what that chat's going to look like here in a second. And yeah, I'm sure that's fun. All right, so here we go, guys. As we have Barracks up at the front for Virus, he did decide to get gas right away. So moving into those reacted Hellions, and more than likely in a bit. Yep. Symbol, on the other hand, decides to take the base, the natural, outside of his main rather than the one back at the back there.
Well, this is actually perfectly fine. On a map like Crevasse, which I kind of feel like this map is sort of Crevasse 2.0 or Crevasse new and improved, you can take your natural on the low ground. Unlike on Crevasse, where you had a wide open natural, on this map you have a relatively narrow choke point. So a lot of Zerg players are deciding to take their first base there, and I think in most cases that's going to actually be the better decision.
Well, we're going to see how it works out for him right now. This is a lot later factory, for Virus, is that, or I guess he just decided to get the reactor quicker is what it amounted to, because the factory's coming up a little bit after that. And are there any Marines on the ground? Just one for the time being, and he's going to produce a couple more Marines before the factory actually hits. Interesting way to go about it.
Yeah, should be pretty cool to see how that kind of pans out. And there will be the command center for Virus. It's very interesting, too, that Virus has decided to just do the Reactor Hellion right away and kind of buck the trend of going for that very fast command center instead. Because I wonder, let's see, did Symbol get up and see that stuff at the top there? I'm sure he did. I'm sure he had to have. Yeah, so he knows exactly what's coming. I'm guarantee you he's a little bit surprised to see that, but he should be pretty well prepared. Yeah, There is the factory disappearing into the fog of war. Gee, where could it be going?
I don't know. Maybe where that barracks was sitting just a second ago.
Yeah, I think that's pretty likely.
Yeah. Tech Lab now up for the barracks as well. We already have Stim on the way, but just producing off of a couple of production buildings right now. Spike Crawler coming up for Symbol. And let's actually take a look at what Virus has seen. Okay, he saw the expansion on the low ground, and obviously doesn't see anything back at this, I don't even know. I'm trying to think of a simple term to describe what this base is. It's not like the natural, it's not the third, it's the behind the main, accessible only there, low ground, kind of accessible by air base as well.
You could call it the protected natural or something like that.
Ooh, I like that. It makes it feel like a rainforest and that I'm an activist, so we're going to call it the protected natural.
Protected natural.
Okay, awesome.
Sounds good. Roach Warren on the way right now for Symbol. Just kind of getting that out there, being like, hey, if I need some Roaches to defend against the Hellions, I can make some. Doubt on this map that he's planning on doing any sort of Roachling all-in, which some Zerg players do in response to the Reactor Hellion, but on this map, it's pretty unlikely that we'd see something like that.
And a lot of Marauders, a lot of Hellions coming up now.
Yeah.
As that's going to be 6 here in a second with Stim and Marauders. And this could be a pretty powerful push making its way out for Virus here in a bit.
Yeah, I think Virus trying to be a little bit tricky here. Kind of picking a map that you would normally see a long macro game on and then being instead like, hey, I'm just going to do this Marauder Hellion thing on 2 bases. See if I can surprise my opponent and try to kill them right away. 12 roaches on the way, though, for Symbol. So he's obviously not planning on taking a third anytime soon.
Oh, and there's a Baneling nest coming up as well, all the way at the back.
This is starting to look a little bit all in from Symbol here. I wonder if these guys are both kind of planning on trying to kill each other on 2 bases. This is such an interesting game to see on this map. You almost never see games that look like this on this map. So
yeah, but you know what?
Quite interesting.
Symbol, it's going to work out pretty well for him, I think, because
could be.
I mean, you have that problem with, you know, I mean, if he had decided to go to 3 bases pretty quick, you only had a few lings on the ground, the Marauders would have been able to tank Spine Crawlers and go right through, but he's got a lot of units on the field right now. 22 more lings flooding in after this. These 2 big armies are going to meet here in a second, and I don't think that Virus could be too happy about that.
Yeah, they are. The Hellions coming in from behind, but yeah, the Roaches can just turn around and fight them instead. Oh, the lings going past, going after the bio, Symbol splitting things up very well so far. And oh, is he going to catch the bio? There are 2 Hellions there, but he does get the surround on the Marauders. More lings coming in, so yeah, those will all go down. That is going to help so much when the Roaches get there.
And there are those Roaches you were talking about before. They're going to start rolling their way up. 24 more lings coming up. Lair Tech with +1 on the way as well. And Symbol starting to push Virus back into his base right now. Few more units coming up for him, but there are 9 Banelings on the way for Symbol.
Yeah, now that said, I don't think Symbol is going to be able to break him here. I mean, there's 2 bunkers going up. There are going to be Marauders that are going to be ready to jump right in those. So I think we're going to see the game go on, which is, well, that's a lot of Banelings. But I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. That's 2 bunkers, but only 2 Marauders in those bunkers.
Uh-oh, he's just going to roll right through the front. He does kill both of the supply depots. The factory is low, but, yeah, those Roaches just cannot make their way through that tiny little choke point with that much damage output there.
Yep, Symbol making the right decision and going home in that case. He's droning up behind this now, so he's like, yeah, all right, I'm not going to be able to kill him this time. Going to take my third, try to just get ahead of him economically here. But that was a close call for Virus, man. If he hadn't had those bunkers, the game would actually be over right now.
Yeah, I would have been able to flood in some Zerglings very quickly there. We have an Infestation Pit coming up already, though. 10-minute Infestation Pit after all that craziness with more drones and Burrow as well. And back on Virus's side, 3rd command center coming up. A lot of infrastructure being added as he's going to be sitting on at least 4 racks. You have 4 racks, an additional command center, and 2 engineering bases. Starport just finished up as well. We have a bit of an engagement in the middle, or what could have been, but Virus does get away with the faster Hellions there.
Yep. Those Hellions, they are pretty quick. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog in car form. Gotta go fast.
I wish there was a little loops that he could go around then as well.
Dude, that would be so awesome. You know what? Someone should actually do that. Use a map editor. Oh, those Hellions. Gotta be careful there.
Make a
Hellion
like stunt driver game?
Yeah, exactly. A Hellion stunt driver game.
Oh, man, that would be awesome. You ever play Trackmania Nations? Reminds me of that.
No, but it sounds cool.
Hellions actually have to watch out. One goes down, a second almost does. Man, you've got to play some Trackmania Nations. I'm going to expose you to this. So.
Okay. Sure. Oh, nice little drop there at the natural expansion when the Roaches and everything else are out of position. And the drones have to run away before everything gets back. Looks like there they are.
And it looks like he will pick up in that drop ship, run back home. Yep. And the Hellions actually turned around for home as well. It's got a few Roaches sitting over at the Xel'Naga Tower, though. It's actually enough to force that pack of Hellions away for the time being. All right. Oh, they're going to run in and try and catch this Queen off guard. Queen is actually taking quite a bit of damage, and looks like she will go down. Bye-bye, Queen.
I'm a little bit surprised that Symbol decided to go and try to break down those rocks when he knew there was still that amount of Hellions out there. He's doing okay. I mean, he hasn't really taken any huge damage from this, but a little bit of a risky move there from Symbol. I don't know, I'd be terrified to let those Hellions anywhere near my base, man.
Yeah, and looks like he is going after them with Zerglings now, which makes a little bit more sense, keeping the Roaches back to defend. Here comes the drop one more time from Virus, but that's going to get cleaned up pretty quickly.
Wow. One of those Marines just turned into like a little pile of goo. He didn't even turn into like a little Marine body covered with goo.
That's what happens, man. Upgrades.
That is what happens. If you get slimed by a roach, you turn into goo. It's true.
Guess so. And, Virus is going to pick up on the rocks being gone. And we'll see if he keeps Hellions around to watch against any sort of drones making their way down to build a hatchery. We do have a good number of infestors already up for Virus. 4 are on the field, 3 more on the way. 2 upgrades coming out as well. That is a pretty large amount of forces on the field now for Virus.
Yep, that's right. That's a serious push to have to deal with. He does have the infestors on the way, like you mentioned, so that's going to be pretty good. I mean, the fungal growth is going to be pretty helpful, but he's going to need some other units to complement this. He only has 10 Zerglings out on the map right now, and that is a little bit worrisome. Oh, is he going to get the fungal on the Hellions? Nice fungal growth there.
Yes, he does. Pinning so many of those in place, it's going to make the
lot.
Zerglings pretty effective. Got to watch out for those infestors, though.
Yep.
Thankfully, the siege tank hits didn't target those, or that would have been a lot of dead, very expensive units.
Huge fungal on the bio. Big mistake by Virus, letting those Marines sit out there. Oh, no. That Hellion is just like, oh, I'm not even going to drive out of this. This is too disgusting.
Oh, my God. Wow. Okay, so ST.Symbol with a couple of big wins there. No medevac support at all. There are 2 medevacs on the field. Finally, double medevac production now. It looks like he was investing in attack units and may come back to bite him a little bit.
Yeah, that one Hellion, last of the Hellions. Scouting things out a little bit here, and this is still a serious push to worry about, but it has been weakened incredibly by the loss of all those Marines.
Yes. And we're going to see Zerglings getting just inside the siege tank range there, but it looks like they're going to go for it. At least taking out the front line of bio units there. Oh, if they get a tank too, that would be great, and they do.
Yeah. And here comes the push.
Flank from the back as well. Great fungal growth trapping so many Marines. The units coming from the back are too strong to bear. The siege tanks are dying so quickly. The medevac's even fungaled in place, and ST.Symbol crushes that attack while double expanding.
Wow, I don't think you could ever find a better example of the word crushed in that regard. He destroyed that. But the big turning point came when Virus left his units a little bit too far out there and got them all fungaled before any medevacs showed up. That was just gigantic. That was such a huge moment in this game, and that's definitely one ST.Symbol can capitalize on in a big way. You can see him trying to push here. I don't know if this is quite the time to go through with a push. Virus is not dead yet by any means, but this definitely gives ST.Symbol the ability to start expanding quite a bit more and getting a huge economy going. Look at that. Adrenal glands going 3-3 on the way for his Lings, and an Ultralisk Cavern on the way for ST.Symbol right now.
Shut up, he'll be stone dead in a moment. And
I think I'll go for a walk.
I feel happy. And yeah, another base up for ST.Symbol. Down to the bottom left-hand corner, he is on 75 workers at the moment, so his economy does look great. Double drops coming in, though, for Virus. 1 on the right, 1 on the left. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it looks like ST.Symbol is pretty on top of these, actually. Must have picked up on that one completely, as the Queen is already ready to start hitting the medevacs. And Virus preparing with a few forces up at the front as he takes his 4th. But I see a blue dot over there, and it looks like ST.Symbol knows that that's happening, actually. Oh! Almost. Oh, and then does lose the medevac. Good little win there for him.
Looks like he might lose his hatchery down at the bottom. We'll see how fast the Zerglings can get there, if ST.Symbol is even going to try.
Yeah, it looks like he is going to lose that, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, he's sending units across, but yeah, he's definitely not going to save that hatchery. Oh, he's not even sending units, yeah. He's just like, all right, you got that one. No problem. That was my spare hatchery. I don't need that. No problem.
Does he? Oh, he does manage to get a Marine. Now actually flooding him with a few Zerglings afterwards. Picks off a few Marines there as Virus continues to push through the front. So he's going to try and drop as he pushes through the front right now. We'll take a look at the dropper, kind of track the progress here. But the Spore Crawler is already going to town on the medevac. It has to get away, getting very low there. And we do have an attack over at the 4th as well. The Planetary Fortress was not quite done. Now it is, and the SCVs have actually gone away. So it won't be as difficult to kill it.
Yep, just going to Baneling bust that Planetary Fortress. That is that. Oh, some nice fungals. Just going to stay defensive. Very well done. Oh, man. Oh. Wah, wah.
Wah,
oh, well. Maybe next time, ST.Symbol.
Ventral Sacs coming up, so we could see some drops here in a bit.
Oh,
maybe this time?
That's
no.
Fun. Why don't more Zerg players unburrow their...
Oh, that one got really close.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
It's gonna happen again. Don't give me a heart attack.
No! Oh! Whoa, that was messy, man.
Oh
wow.
my God! I'm sorry for destroying your eardrums, but that was ridiculous.
Yeah, man. I would not want to be a Marine in Virus's army today. It is pretty rough.
Yes, it is. Fungals and bailing bursts, and oh my God, it's been tough. All right, well, he catches a few units off guard there. Not a bad job. Fungal to lead the escape away.
Yep.
And, oh, it looks like he may be going for a three-pronged attack here. He's actually going to flood in through the back as well with a big flank. That's where the infestors are.
Yeah, I mean, the Ultra's taking a lot of damage here, but the tanks are also clumped up. Somehow the Marines get a surround. And, yeah, but the Fungal Grossi is going to be able to clean it up.
Yep, looks like he's taking care of pretty much everything else. More Ultras coming in now, and it looks like Symbol may be on the verge of taking his second game in this set. TSL not out of this quite yet.
It's looking pretty good for him right now. Those tanks on the high ground are a bit worrisome, but all Symbol really needs to do is hold his opponent to those 3 bases at this point.
Yeah, let's actually take a look at what he's coming up after this. Wow, it's actually just huge amounts of Zerglings. He's got another 32. That'll be 69 here in a second. There they are. And no real show as to what else he's going for. Does he have a Spire up to go into Broodlords if the need arises?
Yes, he does. I mean, he has a Hive. But
he has a Hive, yeah.
Not
a Spire yet. So it'll be a while to be able to transition over to Broodlords. So he's going to do this on the back of Lings, Infestors, and Ultras for now. And apparently 55 Banelings.
Nice.
Yeah, there they are.
I like it. I like it.
Good
Going
with
out
it.
with style.
And there's the Spire. There we go.
He's got... man... He's got the cure for the virus.
Cowbell?
That's right.
No,
that's a cure for the fever.
Oh, you're
the
right.
Virus. I've got a virus.
Right.
The only cure is Banelings. I've got a fever. The only cure is more cowbell.
Gotcha. I will note that down and take that into consideration next time.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
I've got
Ravager Ultralisks.
I've got a broken arm. The only cure for that is a splint.
Yes.
And a cast, maybe?
That is medically correct.
That's right.
Very
A
good.
little bit of a drop at one of the bases here for Symbol.
A medevac from really, really long ago, but...
if drones could jump, they could kill that medevac. That's how low health that thing is right now.
Basically. Yeah. And Zerglings being sent in. At the same time, Virus is trying to attack up the creep tumors on the right-hand side. We'll follow that progress now. We have another Baneling bomb. Just waiting for the Marines to pass over that. Looks like Symbol is too.
Is he going to scan?
Oh, he's selecting him. He's selecting him. Waiting. Oh, we see the selections happening. It's not going after it quite yet. Yep. So many Banelings. I'm sorry, Artosis. I'm ripping you off for that. Here it comes. Baneling sitting in the back. God. Not going off quite yet. That was a stim, and no units moved for Virus. That was kind of amusing. Just wanting their drugs.
And he's going to use it.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, he does use it a little bit.
Kills a couple of units there.
And he's got to be really careful. Here's the problem with having a ton of Banelings is that siege tanks can target fire them quite efficiently, but the army for Virus is looking kind of small, despite the fact that the supplies are nearly even right now.
Yeah, okay, so we have a little bit of back and forth here. Virus did decide to move out. Oh, actually on siege for a while, but it looks like Symbol's just going to go for it. Crashes through the front line of siege tanks. Doesn't care that those Banelings aren't cost effective. He's got so many of them. He just wants to crush that army.
Yeah, and crush it he does, and he's going to be able to reproduce so quickly. Look at that. 4K minerals, 4K gas.
Wow.
Not bad at all.
Could even just reproduce on Corruptors and then Broodlords here in a second, as well as Virus is in no way, shape, or form equipped to deal with that. He's got tanks, he's got medevacs, he's got Marines and Marauders, no Ghosts, and no Vikings on the field.
Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. All right, Virus has his 4th base up now. He does have mining again. He's getting +3 weapons for his vehicles. His tanks are going to be very, very strong. And he still has pretty good production. The problem is that... if Virus gets some Broodlords out, Symbol gets some Broodlords out, Virus is not really going to be equipped to defend against that. So that's where the death blow, I think, is really going to come
God, more Baneling bombs!
Oh, man.
Those have just been never-ending and so effective every time, and man.
So I heard of this ability that the command center has. It's called the Scanner Sweep, and it lets you see things that are, I don't know, burrowed?
Possibly.
Might want to give it a try sometime.
Oh, that's a big stim out of those bio units and the Banelings. Oh, my God. Great fungal growth on top of all the units there.
Yep.
We'll see if the Infestors are able to hit another one here in just a second. Symbol's just going to go for the 4th, though.
Symbol's been so good about keeping his Infestors alive as well. That's been something that's been really nice to see.
And looks like he's just going after the planetary fortress while the units roll through the front. Banelings are coming back now, just crashing through the tanks and anything he can find. Oh, the bio units are so grouped up at the moment.
Yeah, a lot of Banelings. He has just enough to take up most of the bio. Those investors, though, doesn't matter. GG, and StarTale.Virus taken out by TSL.Symbol. We might have ourselves a bit of a comeback.